It looks like we're live. Hey, so we're live on YouTube. This feels a little bit different though to be live here because, like it said in the title, I have deactivated my Facebook and my Instagram account. That's crazy for me. That's crazy for me. I love Facebook and I love Instagram. And I know some of my friends and family are like, what the heck? Like, why did you do that? You love that space. So I figured that I would hop on here on YouTube and just share a little bit what's going on, why I deactivated it. As I said, I love social media. I love Facebook. I love Instagram. It's a great way for me to connect with friends. I like relaxing and being able to just from the comfort of my own home, just have it all at my fingertips. And I love that. But lately, like the past month or so, I've been feeling this nudge to spend less time scrolling on Facebook and Instagram. And there's some days where I can do that, where it's like, okay, fine, no big deal. But then the next day, it's just, I jump on just for one thing, or I make one post, or I go to search one little thing, and it's just the scroll. And I'm sure you guys have been there too. But I love it still because in my scroll, I get to see friends, I get these funny videos, I get shopping ideas, decorating ideas, parenting tips, recipes, just again, everything just at my fingertips. But then it can easily be an hour that's passed. And I noticed that I was not feeling very rested because when the kids were going down for their naps, I would lay down to take just a 20-minute power nap, which for me is all I need. It's golden. Just to lay down to take a 20-minute power nap. And instead, I'd spend their full nap time just scrolling things. So anyways, that was going on. I kept on feeling some nudges to just take a break. Just take a break. And I wouldn't. And it was nice because my feed was being filled with inspirational posts and scriptural messages. So there were still beautiful things that I was seeing on there. But I just kept on feeling the nudge to just take a break for a bit. When I had taken a week-long social media fast last year, and it's because I wanted to quickly read through some scriptures, specifically the Book of Mormon. I wanted to just read through that testament of Christ and just fill my day with it. And so I stopped social media to just power through it and get through the scriptures, and I felt so good. I felt more centered. I felt more intuitive. I felt like I had more energy. And it was so nice just not having that on my phone for the full week. And then I put it back on my phone. And the first time I hopped on, I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird. Like, I just see everything. I can see it. It was almost like, whoa, there's literally everything here, from funny to emotional to advertisements to parenting tips to cute clothes to buy. Everything was just there. And so I didn't get on it a ton, but it's just really easy to get back into that habit of getting on and scrolling. So my husband was it's so cute. My husband was reading my book. He's already read the manuscript, but he just said like the actual like physical copy is different. So he was reading the book that I just published right before Easter, and there's a little chapter. I call them letters. I'll read you part of it. Letter 8, to the person lost in a social media world. He's literally just sitting on this couch, just reading it at the end of the day. And there's little pictures. Again, I like the pretty images on social media. They're just inspiring to me. So with each chapter, I have an image and a quote of mine at the beginning. And it says, it's time to wake up from this comparison daze and live. Letter 8, to the person lost in a social media world. Dear scroller, you see the post on Facebook and you feel first an excitement, then a shame of, why isn't my story like theirs? What am I doing wrong? What are they doing that I haven't figured out yet? Part of you wants to block them altogether. You must remember your story is perfect. It's beautiful. You must open your eyes to truly see it. You don't need to be more like someone else. You get to let yourself live. Let yourself be free. Free to have an intimate conversation with yourself. Free to let yourself lead and create the life you crave. Free to fall in love and celebrate the life you have now. You have a life worth living for, even right now. It's time to wake up from this comparison days and live. Anyways, I keep on going with that. But my husband was reading it, and as he's reading it, I'm sitting there next to him, just doing whatever I'm doing on my phone, looking some things up with whether it's just online searches or doing an Instagram search, just spending some time on my phone. And I see the chapter that he's reading, and it just kind of hit me like, I spend way more time on my phone than I realize. And he was just mentioning, he's like, honestly, he's like, they can't go back to a basic phone. You just need your phone for so many things, it seems nowadays. He's like, but I definitely would feel like I'd be happier if I wasn't always seeing everyone else's life all the time on social media during my free time. And so we both decided that we're canceling social media. And he deleted his Facebook account. I deactivated mine for the next year. I'll reevaluate next April what I'm going to do next. But if you want to find me, this is where you can find me. And I'll give little updates along with it. I'm going to post a link below that has, I'm going to call it like my pen pal email list, where I'll send weekly emails. And of course, you can get the book on that link also if you want to see just like the little inspirational messages. The book is called You Are Worth Living For, Letters Written from One Heart to Another. But there's different videos about that. But just a little update on how it being off social media has been so far. The first update is I want to hear more from you guys. So comment here on this video. What are some things that are going on for you? What are some things that you want to just talk about or mention here? What are some things that you want me to talk about or share with my life, since I'm not going to be on social media as much anymore? Along with that, yesterday I was having like a social media withdrawal, and I was feeling down, and I do feel like social media is a great way to get like a little instant gratification, as you can just scroll or you can make a post and people can comment, and you feel that quick sense of connection with whoever is online at that moment, and you can see updates from other people's life. So I was just feeling a little bit of a withdrawal yesterday, and so I called my mom. I chatted with her for 3 minutes, but then she needed to, her friend was showing up at her place and they were going to go for a walk right then. So then I called my sister-in-law, who I haven't called in a long time, and called her, and we ended up texting back and forth because she was in a doctor's appointment. And then in between texts, I called my dad and talked to my grandpa and was just telling him that I'm feeling just overwhelmed with certain things. And he's like, find a good show that you can just watch, or grab yourself some ice cream and just take a day to relax. Like, even him and my grandpa were just being so cute. But with me spending less time on social media, we still have that craving for connection. And so I've been finding that I've been calling up people that I don't typically just call. And I'm talking about real life things, not just like the weather, like superficial things. Like I'm going a little bit deeper in my conversations. And I'm wanting to get to know more about them too, because I'm not seeing their posts on Facebook. So that's one thing that I've learned so far in this. I'm still in my first week. It hasn't been a full week, but the first thing is I'm calling people up more. I'm texting people more, and I'm doing more things in person with people, even just these past few days. And then the second thing is I'm valuing my time so much more. Like, the first day of not having social media on, I went out with the kids in the backwoods, and they were going on a little hike through the backyard, and there was a little creek that they were following along with, and I was sitting in a certain place where I thought they were going to end up. And after about an hour, they hadn't ended up there yet. We have a big backyard. And I started to get worried, and I'm calling their name and they're not responding. And I'm like, I still have the baby next to me. Should I just start trekking through this creek area to try and find them? There's not water in it really. But still, like, you have to go down and trek through it. I'm like, should I start trekking after them? So I went inside and I laid the baby down. And as I was passing through my kitchen, a thought came to me: they'll come back when they're hungry. So I went back outside and I waited in my spot. And sure enough, probably 15 minutes later, I start hearing my kids and I start calling their name. And they're like, Mom, where are you? We got lost in the backyard. So I'm calling their name and they're following my voice, and they come back to me and we give hugs. And one of the first things they say is, we're so hungry. And it was just kind of cool. Like, yes, not having social media, some of my thoughts are like, what are some things that I'm missing? Like, what am I missing out on? But I'm also recognizing, like, I didn't miss out on that connection with the kids. I didn't miss out on the intuition that I had to, like, don't fear. When they're hungry, they're going to come back. And I'm glad I was in that spot praying for them, because they ended up getting lost and they wanted to hear the sound of my voice. And I love being the person that they saw when they got back and that I was calling for them. Anyways, just a special experience that I had. Then another point, we're outside and we're playing baseball together. And I'm snuggling more with the kids at bedtime because I'm not wanting them to just hurry and get off to bed so I can jump on social media. Anyways, this isn't a huge, like, don't do social media post, because again, there are so many things that I love about it also. But if there's people out there that are feeling a nudge to pause social media, I just wanted to share my experience so far this week with it. And I know there's lots of questions people can have, like, well, what about for business or everything else? But I'm feeling a nudge, and I'm willing to just follow through with it. But I don't want to become a hermit. I still want to connect with you guys. So if you don't have my phone number, then comment here on what things you guys want to connect with, or I'll put in the comments a link that you can subscribe to my pen pal email list, or you guys can order this book and just have some screen-free inspiration for you. It's on Amazon. The book is called You Are Worth Living For. And the back, it says, Dear reader, congratulations. If you're reading this, it means you are alive. I know that seems like a simple statement, so let me ask this instead. How alive do you feel, and how in love with your life are you? Life is busy, life is hard, but why wait until you're dead and at your funeral to appreciate your life? My daughter was born dead in an ambulance. That seems dramatic to say, but that's how it was. Everything turned out okay, so I don't want to scare you too much. I'll share that story in more detail in the book. But let me just say that I know from firsthand experience, that life can be here one moment and gone the next. You are worth living for. Love, Portia Blanchard. Okay, so love you guys, and I'm going to jump on here next week and reply back to your comments and give you guys some more updates.